Hi, friends. Okay, so today we are moving on to what are we? Unit 5, Lesson 2. So if you filled in your table of contents, you have those up to date, then you should have Unit 5, Lesson 2, and you should have it linked. So you can go ahead and click, take you to slide 26. So Unit 5, Lesson 2, we're going to write systems of equations. We're going to do them from word problems. So systems of equations, this just means that we have more than one equation, right? So now this year we're looking at 2 equations. We know how to write equations from word problems. We did that in the last unit. So all we're doing is we're looking at a word problem. We're going to write 2 equations from it, okay? So here we go. Franklin sold water bottles in 2 sizes, large, $2.50 each, and regular, $1 each. He sold 113 bottles altogether and collected $221. Write a system of equations to model the situation. Okay, so let's first define some variables. So what variable do we want to define as the number of large water bottles? The large bottle. Yeah, they're water bottles. Okay, the number of large water bottles. Well, I'm going to choose L. We'll use L. Y'all good with that? I'm going to use L. And the cost of the large water bottles, it told us, was $2.50 each. Then we want to use a variable for the number of regular water bottles. Well, I'm going to use R for regular. So L for large, R for regular. And the cost of regular water bottles is $1 each. So then we're asking, what's the total amount of bottles we sold? So the total amount of bottles sold was 113. It says it right here, 113 bottles. The total profit, so the amount of money he collected, is $221. Okay? So now we want to write an equation to represent the total amount of bottles. So we sold a total of 113 bottles, and that's a combination of the number of large bottles we sold and the number of regular bottles we sold, right? So let's write that in algebra. So if we have the number of large bottles we sold is represented by L, I'm going to put in an L here. And means add, so and the number of regular water bottles sold is represented by R. So L and R, so L plus R equals, so the total number of large plus the total number of regular equals the total number of bottles we sold, which was 113. Okay? So there's our first equation. We've got one equation down. So now write an equation to represent the total profit. Well, the total profit comes from the total amount of money they made for the number of large water bottles they sold, plus the total amount of money they made for the number of regular bottles they sold. So we have to think about this as the total number of large water bottles, but how much did we make off of that total number? Well, each one cost $2.50, so that means we made $2.50 per bottle. When we use the word per, that means multiplication. We're going to put those side by side. So 250 times the number of large bottles plus $1 times the number of regular bottles is going to equal $221 because we made $221. Okay? Now we're going to put them together to form the system of equations. Oops. So we're going to say that we have L plus R equals 113 and 250 L plus $1 R equals 221. Oops, I didn't need to put that space there. 221. They're together. That's the system. They go together. All right. Let's look at the second slide here. This is the last page of notes for this whole semester. We have, let me just interject this here. We are going to do an activity tomorrow. So there will be an assignment tomorrow. On Monday, there will be a Desmos activity assignment. Tuesday, we're doing a review. Wednesday, we're taking a test, and then we're going to do our journal grade. So make sure your journal is up to date. If you have questions about the journal, email me. Go back and watch all my videos, okay? Make sure your journal's up to date. You're going to take a journal quiz. I'm not giving you my journal this time. Okay. Joel had a coin collection consisting of dimes and quarters. He had 200 coins that had a total value of $32. Write a system of equations to model the situation. So we need a variable to represent the number of dimes. I'm going to use D. And then the value of each dime. Well, how much is a dime worth? 10 cents, 0.10, right? A variable for represent the number of quarters. Let's use Q. And the value of each quarter is 0.25. It's 25 cents. So we had a total number of coins was 200. And its total value was $32. So write an equation to represent the total amount of coins. So the total number of coins. Well, that means we have a number of dimes, which is represented by D, and, oh my goodness, there we go, and a number of quarters, which is represented by Q, and the total number of quarters is 200. Then we want to write an equation that represents the total value. Well, each dime is worth 0.10 plus each quarter is worth 0.25, and the total amount is going to be $32. So put them together to form the system. So we have D plus Q equals 200. And then we also have 0.10 D plus 0.25 Q equals $32. And they're together, that's our system. So that's it, we're writing these equations. So now there's an assignment on Canvas. You're gonna write systems of equations, okay? So I always do this. I'm gonna do a couple of these with you really quick. Just need to get my iPad pulled up here. There we go. All right, so Julio bought tables and chairs for his restaurant. He bought 16 total items and spent a total of $1,800. Each table cost $150 and each chair cost $50. Let X represent, so X, let me move this guy, move myself over here, there we go. X represent the number of tables sold, so X is the variable for the number of tables sold. And Y represent the number of chairs. Oops, I don't know why I said sold. Are we buying things? I guess so. So X is going to be the number of tables. Y is going to be the number of chairs. And he got 16 total items. He paid $1,800 total. And, sorry, let me slide that to where we can see everything. And then we know that tables cost $150 each. Chairs cost $50 each. Okay? So let's write some equations. Well, we have the number of tables plus the number of chairs has to total up to 16. So there's one of my equations. And then we have the total cost of tables, so 150 times X, plus the total cost of the chairs, so 50 times Y, has to equal $1,800. Okay? So let's look at my equations. We have x plus y equals 16. Well, it looks like A might be an option. D also looks like that. C and B look a little bit different, but let's check our second equation. 150x plus 50y equals 1,800. I'm thinking A is our answer. 150x plus 50y. Oh, are we with the y right? Oh, I see. We have more than one answer choice here. Okay, so which of these can represent the number of chairs? So we have more than one answer choice. So x plus y equals 16. 150x plus 50y equals 1,800. So A, that's the same. Okay. Let's go ahead and here we have solved for x. So we've got them written in a couple different orders here. Okay. So if I solve this first equation for x, we can subtract y from both sides. So x equals 16 minus y. So this equation and this equation are the same thing, okay? So x equals 16 minus y, that's that first equation, and 150x plus 50y equals 1,800. So B is also a true equation. Then C, I'm gonna erase this really quick. C, we have that first equation solved for y. So if I got y by itself, I would subtract x from both sides. We have y equals 16 minus x. Well, that says 16 plus x, so that's not a good solution. That's not an answer, so C is not part of my answer choice. And then D, we have the 50y by itself. Well, if I solve to get 50y, so if I move 150x over to the other side, then I would have 50y equals 1,800 minus 150x. That's correct. So D is also part of my answer choice. Okay, so this one you're selecting multiple options. Looks like you're going to be doing that on most of them. So you need to be able to solve and move things around, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set these up for you, and then I'm going to let you guys decide which ones are correct. No, I'll just go ahead and do the whole problem with you. Why not? Okay. Paco's Tacos sold 280 food items. So they sold 280 total items. Tacos and burritos from its mobile unit. Tacos were $2 each. Tacos are $2 each. Burritos are $3 each. And they had a total sale, so generated $660 total sales. So X is going to represent the number of tacos. And Y is going to represent the number of burritos. Okay, so let's write our equations. Well, we know they sold a total number of 280 items. So that means X plus Y, the number of tacos plus the number of burritos, has to be 280. So there's my first equation. Then the second equation is going to be the total cost of tacos. So 2 times the number of tacos plus the total cost of burritos, which is 3 times the number of burritos, is going to equal a total of $660. Okay? So we have x plus y equals 280, 2x plus 3y equals 660. So A is an answer choice. Right here we have x plus y equals 280 and 3x plus 2y. So this is different because they put the 3 with the x. Well, they paid $3 per burrito, and y represents our burritos. So this is not a good choice. We didn't pay $3 per taco, we paid $3 for the burrito. So the 3 has to go with whatever variable you're using for burritos. C, we have x plus y equals 280, which is good, and 2x equals 660 plus 3y. So that means I'm taking this equation over here, and they got 2x by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and solve to get 2x by itself, which means I need to subtract 3y. So this goes away. I have 2x equals 660 minus 3y. Well, I have a minus sign when I solve, and this is a plus sign, so C is not a good answer. And then D, I have 2x plus 3y equals 660, which was my original equation. That's good. And then x equals negative y plus 80. So that means they solve this equation to get x by itself. So let's solve to get x by itself and see what we get. So y minus y is 0. I have x equals, we've been writing this in this order, 280 minus y. So that looks pretty similar. Is it the same? Can I reorder this as x equals negative y, because the sign goes with the number behind it, so that negative sign goes with the y. And then I have, this is a positive 280, so plus 280. I can rewrite these in this order. And then I have x equals negative y plus 280. So that means D is also an answer choice. Okay? So I think that leaves you with 10 more problems to do. I think there's 12 total. 12 total. So write these equations. Remember, you're selecting multiple answers here. If you have any questions, please email me. All right? So tomorrow we're going to do another activity. Monday we're going to have a Desmos activity. Tuesday we're going to review. Wednesday we're taking a test. So make sure you put time aside on Wednesday to take your test. This is the last test in the 9 weeks. So you need to make sure you get it done, okay? We won't have much time after that to get it done. So you need to take it on Wednesday. Be prepared to take the test on Wednesday. All right. Y'all have a good day.